Hey, how's it going, everyone? What is up? Welcome back to the channel and our first big Guilty Gear Strive video. We got a trailer last night that breaks down a lot of the new game modes coming, shows off a few other things, talks the netcode, which is a big thing for Guilty Gear Strive, and Arc Systems work evolving as a fighting game developer. So we're going to break all this stuff down as best as I can. We also got a website update that goes further in detail with the netcode and everything else, which is really the most interesting part of all of this. Before we get into that though, I do want to promote my new Discord, link in the description down below. It is an 18+ Discord, so if you join in there, be prepared for some adult conversations. And I want to promote my Twitch, link in the description down below to that. I do stream every other day, so if you guys are interested in watching some fighting games, different fighting games, link in the description down below to that. But let's go ahead and jump into this one. So as you guys can see, the trailer's been playing as I've been talking so far. It's a very interesting trailer in the fact of it doesn't really show off that many new things, like things that we didn't already know that were there or were coming in the first place. It does show off the story mode. Looks like it's going to be fully voice acted. It's going to be this big crazy horseshit story mode, and that's really cool. I love Mortal Kombat because it does give the fans like a really good, or at least they try, story mode to play through. You know, they cater to the guys who aren't sweating their asses off online 24/7. They give these other game modes, and it does look like Guilty Gear Strive is doing that as well in a big way with this fully voice active, fully cinematic story mode that actually does not look half bad. And they further that with an arcade mode. You know, most fighting games end up having an arcade mode. Just a cool way to kill some time for the casual fighting game player, and that goes even further with a survival mode. And also, I don't know why it's being so heavily advertised as like this big thing, but we do get, of course, a training mode in Guilty Gear Strive. Now, the one thing that should be advertised a little bit more is it does look like it is a very in-depth training mode. I've always praised NRS fighting games, and I've always praised Tekken 7, and even more so now, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and that is another Arc Systems work game, for having such a good in-depth training mode. You can have the AI pretty much do anything you need it to. You can do any setting pretty much that you can think of to actually train and figure out those real-world situations for what you're going to be up against online. And that is always a good thing, and I don't think it should be advertised that, hey, there's a training mode. Let's advertise that, like, holy shit, this is a pretty in-depth training mode, a lot of options that you can pick from, a lot of casual, wanting to improve fighting game player options that you can select and learn a little bit from. And also, there was a couple more interesting things shown in the trailer. There's an interesting encyclopedia showcasing facts and history from the previous Guilty Gear games, which is a really cool thing to have for someone who, like me, hasn't played every single Guilty Gear there is, and in reality, this is my first real Guilty Gear game, again, coming in at the launch of the fighting game. So, you know, I don't know all the Guilty Gear history. I'd like to learn more about it, and it seems like Strive is going out of its way to make sure people have the ability to do that without spending thousands of hours on the internet trying to find every little piece of information that you need to know, and that's a really good thing. I really like when games do that, especially fighting games, because, you know, not a lot of people would expect it out of a fighting game, but it's actually a really nice thing to have. And they further that with a cool little gallery. I like NRS for doing stuff like that, like MKX had a nice gallery, MK11's got a pretty good gallery showcasing everything that's in the game, artwork, character models, stuff like that. MK11, like fatalities and stuff, how they were created. So it's pretty cool that Guilty Gear Strive is giving this as well. I really like that. The one thing that really gets me, really gets me, we'll get to like the netcode and some of the other gameplay mechanics that we saw here in a minute, but the one thing that really gets me, nowadays especially, and especially with fighting games, man, Fighter Pass 1 with 5 new characters has been announced with this trailer before the beta date is even been revealed. We do not have a beta date for when everybody's going to be able to jump on the Strive, run the network, you know, test the online, test the servers, give a stress test on the servers, make sure everything's ready for launch. Not even knowing when that is coming, we already know that we're going to have to fork out more money on a Fighter Pass 1. Now, granted, hopefully it's a good price because it is adding 5 new characters, taking the known launch roster from 15 to 20, assumingly not far after launch, probably within the first couple of months after launch, we're going to have 5 new characters added to the game. And it's always cool to get new characters, but I wish we'd know the more important things like a beta date before we're already expected to, you know, throw more cash out after paying $60 for the game, assuming I think it's $60 on launch. So that's a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, you know, it's Arc Systems work. I'm sure the characters are going to be fun and very in-depth and cool to look at, as Arcs does best. And it shows a couple of other mechanics that we knew about but haven't really seen before. You know, overall, a pretty good trailer, but the most interesting thing about all this, the best thing that I think this game is actually doing, besides, you know, bringing in more players with simplified, make it a little bit simpler, bringing in a bigger player base, is the netcode, man. They're finally doing rollback netcode. They're finally adding rollback netcode into their games. We all know that Dragon Ball FighterZ could have been one of the best tag games ever made if it had rollback netcode in it. And they're finally doing something about it, and Guilty Gear Strive is going to have rollback netcode. And it's a really good thing to where you can play with people pretty much all across the United States if you're in the United States and not have that bad a connection, so long as you're both wired. Hopefully it's as good as Mortal Kombat 11's. Mortal Kombat 11 has some pretty good netcode. You can connect to pretty much anyone in the United States, so long as you have decent internet and you're wired, and it runs pretty well. So it's very, very awesome that Guilty Gear Strive is like the first big release that I can think of for Arc Systems work that actually has rollback. Now, the next big thing is the website that was actually updated, going even further, talking about the netcode and everything else. So the first picture I have here, I'm not good at screen recording, so I just screen capped everything. Hopefully that's okay. It says 3 factors make for a great online experience in GGST. Number 1, rollback netcode makes for smooth matches with faraway players. The tower system helps you find players at your level. And 3, how to find an opponent. It's, you know, giving us our table of contents here. Rollback netcode makes for smooth matches with faraway players. GGST uses the same type of network players enjoyed in the previous title. Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R Steam version. So this is what I mean by like major release, because this is releasing on pretty much every single fucking platform, and a lot of people know about this game. So I'm not going to count like Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R as like a big release. Because, you know, not a lot of casual people heard about this game. So this is like the first big major release with netcode in it for Arcs, in my opinion. Rollback netcode allows for great match experience regardless of distance between the players. If you're having trouble finding an opponent, try looking all around the world. So they're going out of their way to make this one of the best online experiences that we've had in an Arc System Works game, and that is a great damn thing. And the tower system helps you find players at your level. Control an avatar to play matches and make friends in the online lobby. GGSTs, that is very hard to say. Online lobby assigns you a floor depending on your skill level. Each floor has restrictions based on skill, and you automatically move up floors if you keep winning. The analysts G's of your matches actions during matches also impact you when you move floors, meaning players at the same skill level naturally gather on the same floor. Everyone from new players to veterans can enjoy these tense battles. So what it sounds like, aside from me not being able to read in my public education showing, it's gonna be, it sounds actually very interesting. I'm pretty sure that we heard something about them actually removing like this lobby system bullshit, because in the closed beta it was not that good whatsoever. But apparently they're keeping it and trying to make it better. I really do like the idea of it being like a floor system, like a hotel or some shit like that. And as you keep improving, you like take the elevator up and take the elevator up until you're at the VIP suite. The master suite of fighting games, and you're fighting those top players. It is a very cool idea. It's just whether or not it's going to be implemented right, or whether or not we're actually going to be, searching for battles strictly in practice mode, which most people do anyway, so they can get their combos and block strings and everything else right before they go into a match. So it'll be very interesting to see if it's actually interesting enough to keep us out of practice mode and actually in the lobby while we're waiting for a match. And additionally with that, and there's even an outdoor floor, anyone can enter, and the highest floor for only the best of the best. Many worlds await you. So there is like a VIP suite that only the best of the best can enter, and an outdoor floor to where pretty much anyone of any skill level, pretty much casual matches, right? Instead of ranked, you got your like casual matches that you would queue up for, that you can play against anyone of any skill if you so choose to. And you know, that's not a bad thing to have. Casual matches are a great way for people to improve without wanting to lose their rank or anything else. I just hope it's, with this rollback, it's going to be a little bit easier to find people of your skill with good connection to play against, you know, for first to 10s, first to 20s, first to 50s. Hell, I've done those before in casual matches, trying to get better, because in Dragon Ball FighterZ, it is hell. You either get people your skill level with horrible connection, or and they don't stick around, or you get people 20 times better than you with good connection, but you're getting your butthole destroyed because you don't understand what's going on. Like in Dragon Ball FighterZ, there's no in between. So hopefully this rollback is actually going to help the implementation of this actually be very good. And then we have how to find an online opponent. For players who just want to jump right into matches, you can also enter matchmaking without going to the online lobby while playing training mode. That's always a good thing. You can choose your opponent from the lobby, so there's no need to wait. That is also a good thing. Use the player match mode when you want to enjoy matches with your friends online. You can set restrictions for entering the room, and even have fun switching up the game rules. There's also an online training feature, great for practicing together or asking for advice. Now that is actually a very good feature to have in a fighting game. That is another one of the features that I absolutely love about NRS games, or at least like Injustice 2 and MK11. I don't know if MKX had it or not, but you can actually like invite your friends to practice, and they can teach you things. You can run some practice block strings and everything else that you need to practice without wanting to be in that actual match status of a timer ticking down and life bars being a part of it. That's a really good, really good thing to have. I actually love the fact that they're adding that. They're making it very accessible for people, and I feel like that's what Guilty Gear needed, because I've been an NRS player for a while. I branched out into, it's still NRS, but Injustice for Mortal Kombat. I'm branching out into the more mainstream Arc Systems Work games. I'm branching out into King of Fighters and everything else. And, you know, branching from simpler fighting games, more simple fighting games like NRS games that do tend to be more simple and easier for people to play. You know, someone like me who's moving into a fighting game of that stature, you know, it's nice to have those modes to actually get you accustomed to what you should be doing, or giving you the tools that you have access to actually improve, you know, in a better way. You know, it's very hard to explain, but it is very good to open it up to that casual player base. Now, whether they needed to make the game easier to bring in that casual appeal, or just give everybody these tools, is very debatable, and you can argue that for hours. But it is nice to actually have all of these tools to help people learn, to have a good in-depth training mode, to have this online practice mode. I'm really digging what they're doing with Strive on pretty much all fronts. They're firing on all fronts, and I'm loving it as a fighting game player. Getting into these more complex fighting games, you know, it's really cool to see them opening up this whole wide range of everything and making everything a little bit more mainstream to pull more people in, but also, you know, adding rollback netcode for the old players and everything else. It's just very nice. I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to see more of Guilty Gear Strive. I can't wait to see what's revealed next. I can't wait to know when the beta is so I can get my hands on the game again. I'm very excited for it. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. Very long video. Very long video, but I wanted to fully break this down for everyone. Again, I'm very interested with everything that they got going on here. I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to know that beta date. If you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Guilty Gear videos like this and fighting game videos in general. I hope everybody did enjoy the video. Huge shout out to my supporters, YSM Dino, Patrick Thompson, The Thinny, Master Vex PC, Frank the Tank, H2O, and Ricky Laughlin. You guys are amazing. Actually, Sir D. I don't know if I said Sir D. Sir D as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Again, I really hope everyone enjoyed the video. My name is Tootin. I've been your host, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.